The latest developments in The Bold and the Beautiful have thrown Will Spencer into an emotional and psychological maelstrom, revealing shocking truths that will alter the course of his life and those around him. Will's world is turned upside down when, amidst the chaos surrounding Luna's pregnancy and their strained relationship, he discovers a heartbreaking reality. He is infertile. The implications of this revelation will reverberate through his life and relationships, particularly with Luna, whose future now hangs in the balance. As Will struggles to cope with this newfound truth, the legal repercussions of Luna's situation loom large, and Remy, an unexpected ally, may hold the key to her salvation. The story begins with Luna's unexpected pregnancy, a twist that had already sent shockwaves through the Forrester family and Will's life. Will, who had been trying to navigate his complicated relationship with Luna, was blindsided by the news of her pregnancy. The looming question on everyone's mind was whether Will was the father of the child she carried. Initially, the uncertainty of Luna's pregnancy seemed like just another complication in Will's already turbulent life. However, as the story progresses, the pressure mounts as Will is forced to confront his deepest fears. For Will, the stakes are not just emotional, they are deeply personal. Will's relationship with Luna had already been under strain. The couple's connection, once full of promise and hope, has been fraught with complications, secrets, and unresolved issues. The pregnancy, at first a glimmer of hope in their tumultuous relationship, quickly becomes a source of anxiety and confusion. Will, unable to trust the circumstances, feels the weight of Luna's secret looming over him. As the situation escalates, he begins to question his role in Luna's life and the future of their child. Compelled by an overwhelming sense of doubt and pressure, Will makes a fateful decision. He seeks medical advice. It is here that the truth begins to unravel. Concerned that he may not be able to father a child due to the ongoing stress of his relationship with Luna and the mounting pressure surrounding her pregnancy, Will undergoes a series of tests. His fears grow with every passing moment, and when the results come back, they are nothing short of devastating. The doctor delivers the news with a clinical detachment that only makes the revelation harder to swallow. Will is infertile. The implications of this diagnosis are far-reaching. The doctor explains that the infertility could be the result of past injuries or, more likely, a genetic condition that Will was unaware of. It is a shock to Will's system. Not only does he grapple with the emotional blow of the diagnosis, but the truth casts a long shadow over his relationship with Luna. The child she carries is undeniably not his. This revelation sends Will spiraling, as the emotional and psychological ramifications weigh heavily on him. He had been the one to support Luna, to believe in the possibility of a future together. But now he faces the gut-wrenching truth that the life he thought he was building with her is based on a lie. Will is left reeling from the implications of his infertility, questioning everything about his future and his identity. Meanwhile, Luna's fate takes a darker turn. With the truth about her pregnancy and Will's infertility now confirmed, the situation becomes even more dire for her. Luna, already entangled in a series of legal battles, is arrested and faces a future full of uncertainty. The charges against her are severe, and with the looming possibility of imprisonment, her life appears to be slipping through her fingers. She had hoped that her pregnancy would offer her a way out of the dangerous situation she was in. A way to find redemption and a fresh start. But with Will now out of the picture as the father, Luna's world seems to be crumbling. In the face of mounting pressure and the uncertainty of her future, Luna turns to those around her for help. She knows that her time is running out, and she begins to seek out any possible avenue for escape. Her desperation grows as she realizes that the people who had once supported her are now backing away. It is in this moment of crisis that Luna finds an unlikely ally in Remy, a character whose role had been peripheral but whose involvement is about to become pivotal. Remy, though an outsider to the inner workings of the Forrester family, has always harbored a quiet affection for Luna. He has witnessed her struggles from afar and has always admired her strength despite her flaws. Remy sees the woman beneath the tough exterior, the person who had been forced to make difficult decisions for survival. He knows that Luna's actions, while often questionable, were driven by circumstances beyond her control. When he learns of her arrest and the charges against her, Remy knows that he cannot stand by and do nothing. Determined to help, Remy sets out to find a way to save Luna. He begins to gather information, using his connections to dig deeper into the legal case against her. Remy knows that the truth of Luna's pregnancy, combined with Will's infertility, is crucial to her defense. He also understands that the legal system is not always just, and Luna may be at risk of being unjustly punished for actions that were driven by desperation. Remy's plan is to use the information he uncovers to challenge the legal system, to expose the truth, and to fight for Luna's freedom. As Remy works tirelessly to help Luna, Will continues to grapple with the emotional weight of his diagnosis. His shame and guilt are overwhelming, and he cannot escape the nagging feeling that he has failed Luna. The truth about his infertility has rocked him to his core, and he begins to question whether he is worthy of any future. Especially with Luna, his relationship with her had always been marked by tension, but now, with the revelation that he cannot father a child, he feels a sense of loss that he cannot shake. Will is consumed by feelings of inadequacy, unable to see beyond his own pain. Meanwhile, Luna, unaware of Will's internal turmoil, continues to fight for her own survival. The legal battle against her intensifies, and the stakes grow higher. As she faces the possibility of spending years behind bars, Luna becomes more determined to protect her future. She refuses to let her past define her, and with Remy's support, she begins to formulate a plan to reclaim her life. Remy's quiet strength and steadfast belief in her are a source of comfort, and she begins to trust him in ways she never thought possible. The tension builds as Luna's trial looms, and the Forrester family finds itself caught in the crossfire. Will's revelation about his infertility complicates the situation, and the family begins to question where their loyalties lie. While the Forrester family had been willing to stand by Luna in the past, the revelation that she is carrying another man's child, one that is not Will's, creates a rift between them. The implications of the pregnancy and the uncertainty of the child's father send shockwaves through the family, leaving them divided and unsure of how to move forward. As the story unfolds, Remy's efforts to save Luna intensify, and the legal battle reaches its peak. Will, still reeling from his infertility diagnosis, must come to terms with his feelings for Luna and the reality of their situation. He is torn between his desire to protect her and his own sense of failure. His internal struggle threatens to derail any chance of reconciliation with Luna, as he wrestles with the belief that he is not worthy of a future with her. The truth of his infertility hangs over their relationship, clouding any potential for a happy ending. In the final act, Luna's fate hangs in the balance. Remy's efforts have brought the truth to light, and with the support of those who believe in her, Luna is given a second chance. The question now is whether Will be able to overcome his personal demons and step forward to claim the future he once hoped for with Luna. Will he find the strength to forgive himself, to accept the reality of his infertility, and to rebuild a life with Luna? Or will his guilt and shame prevent him from moving forward? The answers to these questions will determine the fate of Luna, Will, and everyone who is caught in the tangled web of lies, betrayal, and redemption. Luna's life in The Bold and the Beautiful has been a series of twists and turns, filled with deceit, betrayal, and violence. Her actions, which have ranged from kidnapping to murder, have caught up with her, and she now faces the consequences of her past decisions. Luna's arrest and conviction mark the beginning of a new, dark chapter in her life. She is sentenced to prison for a series of crimes, including kidnapping, murder, tampering with evidence, and falsifying DNA tests. The once powerful woman who manipulated everyone around her is now facing the cold, harsh reality of her actions. As she is sent to prison, her world begins to crumble. The trial, one of the most highly anticipated events in the history of The Bold and the Beautiful, is broadcast live, drawing public attention as the drama unfolds. The courtroom becomes a battleground for everyone involved, and tensions run high as key witnesses are called to the stand. Will Spencer, Elektra, Poppy, Finn, and Steffi all take their places, each prepared to testify about their interactions with Luna and the role they believe she played in the series of events that led to the crimes she committed. The defense and prosecution go head-to-head, with each side attempting to shape the narrative to suit their own version of the truth. Luna's fate lies in the hands of the jury, but the testimony of those closest to her will either condemn her or offer her a slim chance at redemption. Will Spencer, who had once been close to Luna, is now forced to take the stand as a key witness. His testimony is filled with pain and uncertainty, as he recounts his relationship with her, including the shocking revelation that she had manipulated him into believing he was the father of her child. Will's emotional turmoil is evident as he describes Luna's betrayal, but despite his anger, he is reluctant to fully condemn her. He wants to believe that Luna is not the monster the court has made her out to be. But the evidence against her is overwhelming. His internal conflict is palpable as he struggles with the truth of what Luna has done and his lingering feelings for her. Elektra, Luna's former confidant, also takes the stand, her words filled with bitterness and sorrow. She has been deeply hurt by Luna's actions, particularly her role in the destruction of Elektra's family. Elektra's testimony is harsh, as she accuses Luna of causing irreparable damage to her life and the lives of those she loves. Elektra's words are meant to paint Luna as a manipulator, Someone who used everyone around her to get what she wanted. But deep down, Elektra knows that Luna's actions were driven by something more profound. A deep sense of desperation and a need for control. Her testimony is laced with emotion. But it also reveals the complex nature of her relationship with Luna. A relationship that was once built on trust but was ultimately destroyed by lies and manipulation. Poppy, who had once been a close friend to Luna, also testifies. Poppy's testimony is one of deep hurt and disappointment. She recounts the moments when Luna betrayed her, using their friendship for her own gain. Poppy's words are filled with sorrow, as she reflects on how she was manipulated into believing that Luna was the victim of a cruel world. Poppy now realizes that Luna was never the person she thought she was. Her testimony is a powerful reminder of the lengths Luna was willing to go to deceive those closest to her. Finn, who had become involved with Luna in a personal capacity, also takes the stand. His testimony is filled with confusion and regret as he recalls how he was drawn into Luna's world. Finn had been led to believe that Luna was a victim of circumstances. But he now knows that she was the one pulling the strings all along. Finn's testimony is one of disillusionment, as he reveals how he was manipulated by Luna's charm and intelligence. He speaks about how he was used as a pawn in Luna's game. And while he still feels sympathy for her, he knows that the truth must be told. Finn's words are a testament to how Luna's actions have destroyed not only her own life but the lives of those who were caught in her web. Steffi, the last of the key witnesses, testifies about Luna's involvement in the Forrester family's internal struggles. She recounts the damage Luna caused to the Forrester empire, and how Luna's actions threatened the very foundation of their business. Steffi's testimony is filled with anger, as she blames Luna for the chaos that has enveloped their family. However, as the trial unfolds, it becomes clear that Steffi is not just angry at Luna for her crimes. She is also deeply hurt by the betrayal of someone she once considered a friend. Steffi's words reveal the emotional toll Luna's actions have taken on her and the Forrester family, as well as the personal stakes that are involved in the case. As the witnesses testify, the case against Luna grows stronger. The prosecution presents a compelling argument, citing Luna's many crimes and the devastating impact they have had on everyone around her. The evidence is overwhelming and Luna's fate seems sealed. However, Remy, who has been working behind the scenes, uncovers a shocking revelation that could change everything. Remy discovers that Luna may have been framed for some of the crimes she has been accused of. And he begins to piece together a new narrative that could exonerate her. Remy's discovery comes as a surprise to everyone, especially to Luna, who is desperate for a way out of her predicament. As Remy digs deeper into the evidence, he uncovers key information that points to a conspiracy, one that may have involved people within the Forrester family. Remy realizes that Luna was not acting alone, and that there may have been others who manipulated the events that led to her downfall. With this knowledge, Remy faces a difficult decision. Should he cooperate with the authorities and expose the truth, even if it means putting himself in danger? Or should he remain silent and let Luna face the consequences of her actions? Remy's decision to seek the truth comes with great personal risk. He knows that by uncovering the truth, he could be pitting himself against powerful figures like Bill Spencer, Steffi, and Ridge, all of whom have their own vested interests in keeping the truth buried. Bill, in particular, has long had a personal vendetta against Luna, and Remy knows that he could face serious consequences if he chooses to challenge Bill's influence. Despite the risks, Remy decides to go forward with his investigation, driven by his desire to find the truth and his growing feelings for Luna. He is torn between his loyalty to her and his fear of the repercussions of exposing the people who have played a role in her downfall. Meanwhile, Luna's life in prison is nothing short of a nightmare. The conditions are harsh, and she is subjected to relentless bullying and mistreatment from the other inmates. Luna, who had once been a powerful and manipulative force, now finds herself completely vulnerable. She is isolated and struggling to survive in an environment that is hostile to her every move. To make matters worse, Luna's pregnancy remains a question mark. If she is still carrying Will's child, her situation becomes even more complicated. She is forced to navigate the dangers of prison life while dealing with the physical and emotional strain of her pregnancy. Luna, reflecting on her actions and the pain she has caused, begins to write letters, vowing to change her ways. But the road to redemption is not an easy one. The weight of her guilt and the regret she feels for everything she has done continues to haunt her. She begins to question whether she deserves a second chance, or if her past will forever define her. The moments of vulnerability and remorse are fleeting, as Luna is forced to confront the reality of her situation, one where the stakes are higher than ever, and the consequences of her actions may be irreversible. As Luna's journey unfolds, the tension between her and those around her continues to build. Remy's quest for the truth, the mounting pressure from the Forrester family, and Luna's internal battle for redemption all come to a head. The drama of The Bold and the Beautiful reaches its peak as Luna's future hangs in the balance. And the truth of her past may either set her free or condemn her to a life behind bars. The stakes have never been higher. And the story is far from over as Luna, Remy, and the Forrester family navigate the turbulent waters of love, betrayal, and justice.